Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. Hey guys, I'm Randy Younger, and this is another episode of Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. And right here with me tonight, a good friend to the show and a fellow New York City Ghostbuster, Mr. Pete DiGilio. Hey, Pete.
Randall, nice to see you.
Good to see you again. Thank you. We had a good time with Frozen Empire.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to get into the nitty-gritty of that one as huge fans of the Ghostbusters franchise.
Of course.
There's no theme song to introduce us, like la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, under the radar.
That's just edited in later.
Okay, I got you.
But we could talk about you possibly singing it and,
No.
paying for a commission or whatever. So Pete, we had a great time this past weekend at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, we're going to talk about that?
Yeah.
It was the Bronx STEM Expo, I believe it was called.
Yeah. And we had our patented slime lab for the kids. Had a great time with that. Lots of photo ops. And yeah, it was the first time I've been to Yankee Stadium in years.
Oh, you've been there before?
I've been there before. Yeah, but it's been a while. But it was nice to go there. Unfortunately, though, we didn't see a game. But we were there for the kids making slime, so that was fun.
That was fun. We had people from schools all around the district doing science projects, and then they would come down to us on a different level of the stadium where we and a bunch of other adult groups were doing science projects that the kids could participate in. And it's great because it gets kids interested in science, which I think is probably one of the most important things.
Extremely important. I mean, that's
my
favorite thing about being a Ghostbuster is bringing back to the community, especially the kids, and kind of just educating them, teaching them about it's an education in chemistry, and we also expose them to the films of the 80s.
Oh, I mean, that's more important.
That's probably more important.
Science
Yeah.
For the kids, much more important that you learn about the Karate Kid and Gremlins and stuff.
Yes.
Never mind Einstein's equations or anything like that, or the expansion of the universe. Or
screw that. But tonight we're going to be reviewing two films. We're going to do our one new film, which is now on Netflix, and then we're going to follow it by a film that's fairly old. It's been around since 2007, but it's a while. But yeah, tonight is a Jerry Seinfeld double feature, and this newest film that Jerry is involved with, it's called Unfrosted, and it is loosely based on the true story,
very loosely based,
of the Pop-Tart and the formation of it, the marketing of it, how it came to be, and all the strange minds behind it. The film stars Jerry Seinfeld as Bob Cabana,
who was apparently a real person, I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
Or it's based on a real person.
Yeah, loosely. So basically, it takes place in the 60s, and it follows the story of the Pop-Tart, which I don't know how true it is to real life. I mean, but
I know I didn't really look into it. I read a little tiny bit, but apparently the two companies, Kellogg's and Post, were both coming out with a toaster pastry at the same time. So it's a little bit about that rivalry.
Yeah.
And I heard Jerry Seinfeld saying in an interview that he kind of wanted to make it like the movie The Right Stuff, but it was instead of the NASA versus the USSR, it was Kellogg's versus Post.
Oh, that comparison is awful.
So,
The Right Stuff is a classic film.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one, but yeah.
And Unfrosted is the exact opposite of a classic, unfortunately.
Are we getting into this?
All right. First off, I want to just tell everybody watching and listening that I am a true sign head.
Me too.
Seinfeld is my favorite TV show ever.
Oh wow,
created.
okay.
I used to watch it as a kid. I still watch it as an adult, and the wisdom contained within each Seinfeld episode is priceless. And I actually had the entire series on DVD. It's a box set, and if and when I ever have kids, I'm going to impart that wisdom onto them.
There you go.
Yes.
It is one of my favorite sitcoms. It was my favorite show at the time it was airing.
Yes.
I was one of those, I think it was almost 80 million people that tuned into the finale.
Must-see TV, yeah.
Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld, he's a funny guy. I think he's funny.
He is funny, but you know what's not funny?
Unfrosted. Okay.
Now, all right.
You say what you need to say, and then I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
We both love Jerry very much. Like he molded our TV of our generation.
Yeah.
And for generations to come. But Unfrosted, holy crap, this movie was bad. I'm sorry.
You really thought so?
This is right now. This is one of the worst movies of the year for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
It was corny. It was not really funny. It tried to take something that could have been funny, but it was just it fell flat, and I was totally disappointed. And this is the best that Jerry could come up with for a live-action feature. It's just really mind-boggling that this product came to be, because it's the story of the Pop-Tart. I mean, that is the premise. It sounds hilarious already. But they kind of they drove this right into the ground. I think this movie, yeah, it's overcooked.
Okay. It kind of is. So, as you know, I was about 15 minutes into it when I texted you, and I was like, ooh, this is terrible.
Right.
But by the end of it, I kind of grew to like it a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the ravioli sea monkey.
Okay,
creature?
yeah. Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
That is the dumbest thing about the movie.
Yeah.
That was just a little too bizarre for me.
They threw that in for the kids, I think.
I don't know. That was the one thing about the movie that I was like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
That was weird. But I don't think it's as bad as everybody is making it out to be.
I mean,
I don't think it's a great movie by any means. A lot of the jokes really fall flat.
They do.
And a lot of the plot is really kind of scrambled together.
it has so much potential, and the cast. Look, you've got Seinfeld, Melissa McCarthy, Jim Gaffigan. Hugh Grant actually was very funny.
Hugh Grant
He was the
hilarious.
only funny thing in this.
Actually, I disagree.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I screenshotted his name because I needed to say this during this review.
Yeah, sure.
But the dude who played Walter Cronkite, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a
He's a
pretty good
comedian
impression.
named Kyle Dunnigan.
Yeah,
And
I've seen him
apparently,
before.
according to Jerry Seinfeld in the New Yorker interview, he was kind of making a lot of what he was saying off the cuff, like on the fly during filming.
Cool.
He's so great. Walter
Yeah.
Cronkite is. He's an iconic figure from the
course.
past.
Yeah.
You and I probably grew up knowing who he was and so
Yeah.
forth. And
I just know he was featured in Apollo 13 at the scene where they're all they're sitting around the TV watching the moon landing, the first moon landing.
Right.
And Walter Cronkite is narrating it.
oh yeah, he was there for that.
Yeah.
But this
Fantastic.
dude, this comedian, he plays like a character.
He looked like him too.
He looked like him.
That was scary.
And then later on in the movie, he plays Johnny Carson. And I think they might have CGI'd Carson's face onto
did
him. It was a
something.
little off. It was weird.
Yeah.
I also really liked those two kids, the dumpster
dumpster
diver
divers?
kids.
Okay.
Especially that little girl. I thought she was really funny.
Yeah, she had a funny voice.
And I don't know why, call me crazy, but for some reason, Bobby Moynihan makes me laugh.
I love Bobby Moynihan.
And I couldn't, he was making me laugh in this movie.
All those like the mascots and she was Chef Boyardee.
He was Chef Boyardee.
Yeah. That was see, that's a good idea, but it wasn't executed well.
It wasn't executed.
You know what I mean? And
exactly right. But I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was terrible. I really didn't.
Wow, I did.
I didn't think it was great, but I didn't think it was as bad as everybody was making out to be.
I love the production design. It looked like the '60s. I mean, I'm assuming.
Obviously.
The costume design was also very good. The production value very high on this. I mean,
Yeah.
You've got Jerry.
Yeah.
He's got deep pockets, so I'm assuming he funded this or helped fund it.
Although, yeah, it is a great cast, but I have to say, it's a little. I'm getting a little tired of you put on a comedy movie and every single character is played by a big name celebrity.
Yeah.
It's getting boring to me. Just
Too
like
much. It's basically they do the same thing with animated films, which we're going to get into in a moment.
Right.
They have this A-list cast of comedic talent, and in this we've got Amy Schumer, she's had some okay lines
in the movie.
Yeah.
I was surprised to learn that's a real person.
She played?
Who she played? Marjorie Post.
Marjorie, yeah, Marjorie Post. Also, Melissa McCarthy played a NASA food scientist.
I don't know if she's a real person.
I
but
think she might be. Donna Stankowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is all based in reality somewhat. But yeah,
Maybe.
the whole film is loosely based on the
I
true
think
story.
they were going for the type of farce
Yeah.
that Weird Al's movie did
Which
a
was
couple
good,
years
but that
ago,
worked.
which was really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
This one falls a little flat,
Right.
admittedly. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's as bad as everybody's saying it is. If
I
I
don't-
do, okay.
See, sometimes I will give you the benefit of the doubt and go back and rewatch it.
I tried to rewatch it today.
I don't.
I
think
didn't get to the end before I had to leave to come to the studio. But
I don't think I want to rewatch this one.
the ravioli thing is a little ridiculous.
It was painful enough the first time.
Okay.
I feel bad because I love Jerry Seinfeld. I
Yeah.
love his work.
Yeah.
But just this movie was, yikes. But you would go, but you wanted to go back and rewatch and get a.
I did
a fresh
rewatch.
take.
I think I only had like 20 minutes or so left.
Okay.
And like I was kind of warming up to some of the jokes that didn't
Okay.
hit the first time. But then again, like that's maybe the sign of a not so good movie if you
Yeah.
have to watch it a second time
There
to
were-
to
yeah.
get some of the jokes.
There
So
were two moments that were cringeworthy for me. The first one was the funeral with the snap, crackle, and pop doing the military
yeah.
funeral procession.
It was a good idea. It was oddly executed.
Right.
And I also, this is spoilers again.
Sure, it's fine.
The whole idea of they created the Pop-Tart by gathering all of these people from all of these icons from the 60s and putting them in a lab together.
Right.
It was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
And I was like, what exactly is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
Chef Boyardee, the guy who invented sea monkeys, Jack LaLanne for some
Yeah,
reason,
yeah.
and the guy who invented Schwinn bicycles.
It's like
It's
they,
and then then there's that scene afterwards where they're like, if we put all of their ideas together, we can make a Pop-Tart. I'm like, okay, I get that now, but like that getting there was a little strange.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
were all those people doing together? The side plot with Bobby Moynihan
Yeah.
and what's his name from Reno 911? I can never
oh
remember
yeah,
his name.
yeah. Lemon, right?
It was
Lennon,
it was
Lennon.
so bizarre.
Right.
Like,
What was going on in this writer's room? Like, what were they
Right.
thinking? Like, there was so many. They're just trying to cram
Yeah.
all these comedic elements into this one movie. It's just overloaded with unfunny jokes.
yes, but I did laugh out loud a couple of times. A couple of times at the guy playing Walter Cronkite. A couple of
Yeah.
times at Bobby Moynihan.
Hugh
and
Grant
then
was great.
Hugh Grant,
Yeah.
who plays Thurl Ravenscroft, who I looked it up. That dude was from Nebraska, so I don't know why he was playing it with his British accent.
See, that makes it funny.
I guess that's funny.
Knowing that
and I don't.
makes it funny.
He was the voice of Tony the Tiger for like 50 years, and
wow.
he also sang "You're a Mean One, Mr.
Oh,
Grinch."
that
Same
makes
dude.
sense.
So
That's iconic.
but I don't think he ever actually donned the mascot costume for
Right.
commercials, which in this movie he does. But I have to
Right.
say, I think probably the one big out loud laugh I had, spoiler alert, was when the mascots are about to storm the building and he's dressed like the QAnon shaman guy
Yeah.
with his Tony the Tiger
I
outfit.
mean, that was a blatant reference to the actual events on
Yeah.
January 6th, but
But then that whole scene just goes "Brr," because they finally get into the office and oh, it's too late, and they're like, okay, let's go home instead of having a riot. I'm just like, all that for nothing.
yeah, it's just some good ideas in this, but just executed
Some good
very
ideas,
poorly.
some funny stuff.
Right.
I didn't think it was as bad as people are making out to be. If I do my letter grade thing, I'm giving it a C+, I think.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, maybe a C for me.
All right.
How many stars out of 4?
2.5.
Really?
Maybe.
No, I would maybe give this 1 just for because the intent was good,
Yeah.
you know. But
Like I said, I think they were kind of going for Weird, the Al Yankovic story kind of a thing.
see that, but that
and
worked
they
so
fell
much
flat.
better. This kind of reminded me of like an Adam Sandler production, where he would just grab all his comedic buddies and throw them in. But I think Adam Sandler's done this type of movie better than Jerry.
Oh,
Much better.
yes. You know who I actually thought was funny too was Bill Burr as President Kennedy.
You know, it's funny, but before I saw the movie, I saw his name attached, and I'm like, as JFK?
Yeah.
How could that work? I mean, the man's bald. He looks nothing like him.
A wig, and
Yeah.
he's from Boston, so
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
the voice very well.
Right.
So that was decent too. Again, all these comedic elements, these stars that you're trying to grab.
There were bits and pieces of it that I liked, but overall, it's not really that great of a movie.
It needed a better team of writers
Yeah.
to just tighten it and to come up with some better jokes, or maybe the delivery wasn't there. Maybe that was it. But
I don't think it deserves all the hate it's getting.
yeah, I wouldn't say I hate it. I just
Okay.
strongly dislike it.
Okay.
But a movie.
I thought it was okay.
But a movie that Jerry Seinfeld he's done a couple of movie projects, and before
Literally
this,
a couple.
just two, just like a handful. Yeah.
Like-
the next one that he did previously was in 2007, the animated film Bee Movie.
Oh, we're moving on.
We're moving on. You like that segue? I enjoyed Bee Movie when it first came out in 2007. I actually enjoyed it a lot more when I watched it the other day. It's a fun little romp. It's got great animation for 2007.
Oh, yeah.
It's got another great voice cast.
Fun cast. I love Chris Rock as the mosquito,
Yep.
which is basically a cameo. He's only in 2 short scenes, but he's really funny.
He's really funny. And the story's a little strange. He's suing the honey companies.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. This happened the first time I watched this movie, and then when I watched it again, actually this morning, for a little while there, you think you're watching a movie that's villainizing beekeepers and the honey industry.
You're right, right.
And speaking of the extreme left, Jerry Seinfeld, that's a position that doesn't really sit well with me. That because then we learn later on in the movie
Right.
that bees are actually really, really important to the entire planet's ecosystem.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And they kind of turn that around, and then he has to save that. So then I was like, oh, okay.
So it's like an ecological message,
Right.
and, which is great for kids and
Yeah.
adults too, because we're learning about the environment and how bees are essential to our longevity.
I looked it up today, and honeybees are responsible for pollinating 1/3 of the crops that humans consume.
There you go. See, hey, we need bees.
We need bees.
It was a little strange though with the quote-unquote romance between Jerry Seinfeld's bee character and a human woman played by Renee Zellweger.
And in the Duke speech,
Uh-huh.
he mentions that, and he says,
He does.
For those of you that thought that was a little weird, I apologize right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, so
Okay.
if that
about
means anything.
16 years later, 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Better late than never.
Sorry for the Seinfeld impression. I honestly thought
was
the
that
two
a-
of us, well, it was an almost.
Okay.
I thought the two of us were going to sit here going, I want to make a movie about Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
But then I thought, if we sat here doing Jerry Seinfeld impressions,
We'd be
nobody
here all
will,
night.
and nobody will watch your
Right. We're going to be
episode.
here a while. But yeah.
But B-Movie's fun.
It is fun.
It's cute. The animation's good. It's DreamWorks. DreamWorks always puts out a good
Yeah.
product.
I mean, kids will be entertained by the
Yeah.
visuals.
I give B-Movie a B.
Oh, I think I give it a little bit more, maybe a B.
Maybe a B plus.
plus, yeah, or A minus. But yeah, it's a fun one. I also want to mention, because those who watch the show, they know that I'm a big film music buff. Rupert Gregson Williams did the score for B Movie. He's one of Hans Zimmer's proteges, and I don't know if you noticed the background music, the score in B Movie. But it's just really vibrant. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the most overlooked scores there are. And
Cool.
I'm always listening to it on my iPhone. So.
Wow, all right then.
There you go. Rupert Gregson Williams.
There's also a song that apparently Jerry Seinfeld wrote the lyrics to that I missed.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about it in his New Yorker interview.
I think it might have been in the end credits. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's a strange movie. But I thought it was very good.
It is a little weird, the sort of sexual tension between a bee and a person.
Yeah. But it turns out to be, spoiler alert, mostly a friendship. It's,
Yeah. They do kind of joke about it, and you're like, but hey.
And I love the depiction of New York City.
Oh,
I think that they did a great job with
I
that.
forgot that it took place in New York City, and right away it opens up and they're in Central Park. And I was like, awesome.
Pretty cool. It kind of
Yeah.
reminded me a little bit of another DreamWorks film, Ants, from 1998.
Oh gosh,
Which
I forgot. Which came out the same time as Bug's Life.
Same year, 1998.
Yeah.
Which featured Woody Allen was the star of Ants.
Oh gosh.
And you got Seinfeld as the bee here. So it's kind
Let's
of a
not talk about that controversy.
Oh yeah, God, these two guys combined, the crap that they've they're not. Well, that's another episode.
That's another episode of
off camera.
a different podcast, folks.
Yes,
Not
yes.
this one.
Very different. We're very wholesome tonight with B-movie.
Yeah.
So, also I want to mention Patrick Warburton, who basically
God.
Jerry wrangled from the TV show.
Yeah.
He was Putty in Seinfeld. He's hilarious. He's Ken in this.
Yes.
Who's kind of like this
Tennis player,
this
jock dude.
Yeah.
He also makes a cameo in Unfrosted,
Oh, yeah.
the very beginning.
Okay.
He's the announcer who introduces Cedric the Entertainer as the MC of the awards.
Gotcha.
The very beginning.
I think
but-
they could have used a couple more Seinfeld talent.
Yeah.
In Unfrosted, that would have maybe made things a little bit better, but
But they're busy with their other projects, and
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so disappointed here with Unfrosted. It kind of reminded me. This is a kind of a side note here, but there was another movie called Extract. Did you see that one with Jason Bateman, which was also kind of about a product being launched?
that wasn't the one that was directed by
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge.
Yeah.
I think I did see that, and that was a bad movie.
It was not
did
as
not
not as good as his previous film Office Space,
Right.
but I think better than Unfrosted.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw that
Yeah,
one.
but that's a quality film. What do you think of all this thing where they wrangle all this talent into a movie? Do you think it hurts it or benefits it?
Like I said, it's a little tiring. So I like to see fresh faces in things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throw in a few people. I don't think anybody could have played that Chef Boyardee other than Bobby Moynihan. The main characters, obviously. What's the name of that comedian lady who plays opposite? Who plays the Post lady?
Oh, Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of the name Amy Schumer. She's great, and Jim Gaffigan and all those guys who play the main characters, they're
Right.
fantastic.
Right.
It's then
Also, Dean Norris plays.
Dean Norris is great as Khrushchev. He's
yeah.
great. That's a great
That
cameo.
was random.
Christian Slater as the milkman. Oh, Peter Dinklage showing up.
Yeah.
That was really funny. And in the New Yorker interview, Seinfeld was like said he loved directing Peter Dinklage.
Really?
He's like, there's a guy, you tell him what to do and he knows how to do it.
There you go.
So
Also, I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of the show that this was Jerry Seinfeld's his directorial debut.
Oh.
Which is very sad. I'm sorry to all my fellow sign heads out there that this was his first attempt. I don't know if he should do it again.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
And he co-wrote the thing too.
Yeah, and produced it and starred in it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the first. Oh boy, I don't know what else to say, Randy.
I know. I think we said all that we can.
I don't know. It's
without
funny
getting
because
angry.
I'm sitting here saying I don't like a cast that's chock full of celebrities, and then I'm naming all the celebrities that I really liked. Oh, Peter Dinklage was great.
Right.
Dean Norris was great. Oh, Amy Schumer's great.
They could have just made a movie about Christian Slater's milkman, and I would have.
Yeah.
I think would have been more entertainment.
That whole subplot was also a little strange
Yeah.
and a little out of left field. It didn't really land the way
Yeah.
I thought it would, even though Peter Dinklage was hilarious.
There's a lot of strange things in this.
There's a lot of weird stuff in the movie.
Dan Levy as Andy Warhol. That was odd too.
Oh yeah, at the very end.
Yeah.
He comes in with a cameo. That was a little weird.
Yeah, and you've.
This is one of these movies, I think, that has its moments, but as a full piece, it's not a good film. It's not a great movie, but there are bits and pieces of it that really work and are really funny.
Yeah,
Like
it's all scattered throughout.
Yeah.
Like cereal in a bowl of milk, and the little kernels of cereal that they get kind of soggy. And I don't know where this is going, but yeah, the film doesn't work.
Right.
Before we conclude this, I just want to also mention Andy Daly as Isaiah Lamb, the Quaker Oats guy.
Again, really bizarre.
Yeah. I just had to throw that out there.
At first, I thought he was one of the mascots, but apparently he was like the Quaker equivalent of Mr. Kellogg and Mrs. Post, and
Yeah.
you know, he was supposed to be, and that was just this really weird thing that I couldn't like get through. I'm like, why is he here? Oh, okay, no, all right. The second time through,
Right.
I understood it because by the time the movie was over the first time, I was like, okay, I get it. He's supposed to be, but he's a Quaker because he represents Quaker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the joke.
That is
it. Took me the whole movie to figure out that one joke.
Right.
So-
Now, like B-movie, this movie is it's like marketed towards families because it's, you know, there's not a lot of crass humor
No.
or, you know, crude stuff or in-jokes that are like suggestive. Same with B-movie. So I think that's what both movies have in common. They're both sort of marketed towards family. Unfrosted more towards adults, but they're basically sort of family friendly.
That is one thing that I did like about it.
Yeah. I don't think I would want to subject my future kids to this movie. I'm just gonna say that. I'll give them the box set of Seinfeld and we'll call it a day. You
There
know?
you go.
Yeah. So all right. So for me, I'd say I would not recommend this movie. It is on Netflix, but proceed with caution, everybody.
If you have Netflix,
Yeah.
I would recommend it just because it's trending right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you should see what it's all about.
If you're
Because again,
curious,
like
right.
like I was saying earlier, I think these days people just sort of jump on the bandwagon of memes and bumper sticker slogans and sound bites. Oh, this movie's terrible. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. Watch it for yourself
Right.
and decide for yourself. Because
Right.
again, here we have two people. He thought it was really, really bad, and I thought it was
Yeah.
it was okay.
All right. Agree to disagree, sir.
All right.
So Unfrosted is now streaming on Netflix, and B-movie I believe is streaming on Prime Video
For rent.
for rent. So
I watched it on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Which is where you can see today's podcast.
Yes, you can, everybody. So we just have like a minute left, Pete. I just want to see if you had any plugs tonight. Any projects you're working on?
Oh gosh, not really. You
Okay.
can look for me as always as a voice on the popular YouTube channel Watch Mojo and its sister channel Unveiled. Other than that, I've got nothing going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. No news is good news, I guess.
Right.
And as for me, you can catch all new episodes of Under the Radar through Slam Radio, through SiriusXM, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can also catch the video version of the podcast.
This is going out tonight?
No, this is going on next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the video version, and that's every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And also feel free to subscribe and share the Under the Radar YouTube channel. And that about does it for me.
And don't forget to hit that like button
Yeah, that too.
and subscribe
Right.
for more videos like this one.
I like that. I may have to hire you.
That's what I do.
So guys, I'm Randy Younger. This has been Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together one frame at a time.
What are you doing now?
I don't know. It's still going after hours.
And now it's time for Under the Radar After Dark.
Yes. Welcome,
Let's
guys.
talk about some great films that we've seen recently. Now, what are some movies that you've seen recently?
Wow.
What is your favorite A24 film?
Oh man. Well, probably Midsommar. Yeah, or Midsummer, however you want to pronounce it.
I don't know. I can't remember if I
love that
saw
movie.
that one, but
It's
aren't
freaky,
there's
man.
goats in the woods in that movie, right?
There's basically a cult in Sweden.
That's
in
right.
the countryside. Yeah.
I think I did see that one.
It's out there, man.
I'm not really good with like knowing exactly which studio is which. Is A24 responsible for that really funny movie with Nicolas Cage that came out a few months ago?
You mean Dream Scenario?
No, not Dream Scenario.
Oh, where he plays himself, the unbearable weight of massive talent.
No,
not
it's
that
a
one.
movie where he plays a silent janitor who doesn't say a damn thing through the whole movie, and he's murdering these animatronic
Yeah.
things that come to life. It's a horror movie, and he's
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, that was not
Was that
A24.
A24?
I don't think it was A24.
Oh.
No. But it was pretty good, actually.
That movie was funny.
It was weird as hell.
What was the other Nicolas Cage movie I just saw recently? Oh, the one where he plays not Elvis. Who was it?
Which one?
There's a movie with Nicolas Cage that everybody was talking about like 2 months ago.
Not Dream Scenario.
Which one's Dream Scenario?
That's the one where he plays kind of this like schlubby average Joe who basically shows up in random people's dreams for no reason. It's like a fantasy comedy.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's good. You should check it out. That's, I believe, A24.